Every summer I spend some time here, in this landscape where I grew up. I used to ride my bike around quite a lot back then. But for many years, ever since I moved away almost 20 years ago, I haven't really had the chance to. But now that I recently got a new bike, I felt I could free up space in my basement at home and move one of my lesser used bikes here to keep in my mom's basement instead of my own. And now I'm rediscovering the joy of riding these scenes, landscapes and routes all over again. It also made me fall back in love with this bike, and now I almost feel it's a shame that it will live here as a country bike to only be ridden on the occasions I come to visit. As soon as I got on the bike, I had a destination in mind: to ride from my childhood home to the nearest city, Fredericka. It's not a long ride, but I like to meander and see if I can remember some of the old shortcuts and back roads to get there. The route follows the river Glomma, the longest river in Norway, that runs into the ocean in the city that we aim towards today. These are places that I wouldn't normally go to when I'm here, and there's no telling what will have changed or what I will have forgotten about in the years since I was last here. But these paths in between residential areas, woodland trails and industrial parks have the very specific flavor of this place, of home and childhood. Riding my bike back then was not really for transport in order to go somewhere specific, but to fill time and have something to do with a friend or just on my own. My original way of biking, that for me has returned to my life in a major way. The big difference being that I didn't really think about the bike back then, and I didn't really experience the act of bike riding or the places I rode through. It was more seamless, more holistic and integrated in a way, just a part of life. Unexamined, sure, and unexplained, but pure in its essence and experience. Now I ride these paths and find myself in two worlds at the same time. Remembering the old ways, but still living my current life. Looking around me and examining deeply the places I ride through. This huge river has flowed for more than 600 kilometers through all sorts of landscapes, and served as the backbone of so much industry and activity throughout history. I look at the remnants of it today, and it makes me nostalgic for a time I never lived in. The route is mostly the same as I remember it, but it contains much more than it did back then. I'm incredibly glad I made this choice, to bring the bike here, to have it for many more trips in the future, retracing the tire tracks of the past, and even making trips and finding routes that I would never have considered when I was younger. As I approach the city, I find it appropriate that I have lived in the past in my mind on the way here, for the city itself is old. Fredericka, founded in 1567 by King Frederick II. The ferries bring you across the wide river to the fortified town, free of charge. I'll take you there some other time. It might not be a surprise to any of you that a guy like me had this place as a favorite hangout, the library. A magical and enchanting castle to any young bookworm. I'm glad you came along on this trip with me. I'm sure it won't be too long until I'm back here, visiting family and finding new paths to take you on. See you soon.